All right, and welcome to Blackphoenix Entertainment. This was a suggestion in the comments that I saw, how to turn better on your Can Am Ryker. So let's hop on it. Let's talk about it. So the Can Am Rykers are not power assist like the Spykers are. This is all manual. So what does that mean? It means you're gonna have to muscle this a little bit, and what that also means is the death grip, which you have on the Spyders, which kind of sometimes screws up the power assist. You don't really get that on the Ryker. However, I definitely still do not suggest doing the death grip on the handlebars for that, because you can run into other issues and it'll just wear you out, and you don't want to do that. So before I start moving, just a suggestion, because it is manual, what you want to do more of a push. Like if I'm turning right, you want to push this way instead of pulling this way. So when you're together like this, most of your weight's going to be pushing here, and you're just guiding this hand. And same for the other way. You want to turn left, you push right, and you guide with the left. So I'm going to get moving, and I'm going to show you guys in action kind of how that works, and some other tips and tricks. So for light, easy turns like this, I'm just pushing on the left bar here and just going, letting it do its thing. Now for this is more of like, I guess you would consider like a hairpin turn. So obviously you want to be going the right speed for the turns. That's obvious. Just on the brake, looking, on the gas, letting it straight out on its own. I'm not forcing the bars back. I'm letting it straighten out on its own as I'm coming out of the turns, which is definitely key. If you try to force it, you're going to run into some issues. You might run into some understeer and things like that. You just don't let it kind of hit the apex and let it kind of come out. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean on this turn. Again, going the speed for the turn, and I'm going to talk about why after. So let it coast in, not on the brake, pushing on the right bar, hitting the apex on the throttle, and I'm letting it kind of come out that way. So throttle control is extremely important on the Rykers. Reason why is they do not like being pushed heavy into the corners. If you plow into a corner, it will plow. You won't get it back. The front end will just wash out, and you will understeer and not go anywhere. So, and you might be thinking, oh, well, I'll just throttle out and the rear end will kick out. No, unfortunately, Can Am has this way too locked down, even in rally and sport modes, where if you try to do that, it doesn't have enough power to spin that rear wheel if you're already in that situation to get that rear end to come around. So my suggestion is be ready for the corner before you hit it. So like my suggestion here, again, we're going to slow it down on the brakes, get the speed you want to go into the corner, a little bit of throttle, and as you're coming out, then you can really give it some throttle there. And again, same type of deal. You come in, braking, go in light, let it go, coming out of the corner, throttle out, there you go. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you try to plow through this corner. So I'm going to take up both lanes just because I can, it's safe here. Going to kind of plow in. What happens? You plow in, it's starting to shut down on me, and then see how the traction control and stuff kicked in. It's not going to let you, and the problem with that is it makes you go wide. And again, depending on where you are, I'm doing this in a somewhat empty industrial park, so I know both lanes are going to be free, but you don't want to do that in a single lane. You don't want to do that even in a double lane with things like that. These will push wide on you. So I really want to hit the point home of slow in, fast out. So who cares if someone's coming up on your bumper and you're coming up in a turn, if you're on a group ride or whatever, who cares? Take the turn how you're going to take the turn. I've got swaybar endlinks. I've got the suspension turned up to 3 on this rally, so I'm going to be able to take it, how I want to take it. But at the same time, you don't want to force the corners, because you're not going to be able to recover from that washout as well as you think you're going to on 3 wheels. Taking this super wide. See what I mean right there? I tried to spin it up in rally mode. It just pushed. The rear end did not try to come out. The rear tire just spun. The front tires were just like, no, I'm gonna go this way. And again, depending if you don't have enough room, you're gonna start running into some problems. So really, for me, with the experience that I have on these, it's fairly straightforward. I think that should be enough hints for you guys to really be able to, you know, if you're new to riding a Ryker, or you just want a little bit more tips on how to take some corners a little bit better, maybe pick up a little bit more speed out of it. Slow in, fast out, on the apex, start on the throttle. As you're exiting the corner, then you can give it as much throttle as you need to give it or want to give it, depending on what's coming up next. If it's a straightaway, you can full throttle it. You just really got to be careful how you enter the corners, because that's really going to dictate the rest of the corner for you. Like you saw in that last clip, going in too hot and then trying to get out too hot, it hates it. It's not going to enjoy it at all, and you're not going to enjoy it because you could get yourself into trouble. Also, the other thing, as far as foot position and foot pegs, kind of up to you. I don't find myself really adjusting much. What I do, especially on like the hairpins and stuff like that, and when I did the Tail of Dragon, planting it and, you know, steadying yourself on it as you're turning, and body weight shifting and stuff like that is a must. As far as body weight shifting goes, if you're taking standard corners, you really shift it enough where it's not going to throw you off the other side. But unless you're racing it, doing something like the Tail, doing some spirited riding, you don't need to shift it fully to keep the whatever inside wheel on the ground. When you're forcing it and really pushing it, then that wheel wants to get off the ground, and shifting your weight will help a little bit. But again, that's advanced stuff. If you're already at that level of riding, you probably already know that stuff anyways. But yeah, so I think that's about it for this one. I'm just gonna kind of head out, do my thing, while you guys go down there and do all the fun YouTube stuff, the liking, the subscribing, the sharing, all that fun YouTube stuff. And down there in my description, I got some cool, awesome ways for you guys to save some money. I got my Epic Water Filters deal, where you guys can save some money on some cool filtered water bottles. BLRtuning, Ironside Customs, you guys can save some money on some cool motorcycle stuff. And of course, any money I make on this channel through my merch or whatever else goes to Moby Kitten Rescue to save the kittens. Thank you for rocking with the flock. I'll see you guys on the next one.